Tommy still love you?
He does.
That's important stuff.
So far. So far, so good.
Kathy, did you make the trip?
She's going to be on virtually somehow, they said. We're going to see her.
Kathy, can you hear me? David, can you hear me?
Yes.
David, you heard me?
Yes.
Charlesy? Yeah. Kathy?
Kathy's working on it.
Still working on it.
Oh. Linda, your computer's possessed over here.
Am I on? Okay, I can see you, but oh wait. Oh shit.
Kathy, she said she couldn't see us.
I think she said she could see us. Could see but couldn't hear.
Kathy
Maybe.
said
Okay,
she
now I
can't
can
see it.
hear you. I can see you, but I can't.
Is everything
Now I
good?
can hear you.
Okay, we'll start back up here at 6:08. If you'll please stand, we'll start with our pledges. Pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag
States of America.
of America.
To the republic
For which it stands,
one nation, under God,
under God,
indivisible, with
indivisible,
liberty and
with
justice
liberty
for all.
and justice for all.
honor
Honor
To
the
the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to
the
Texas,
one state under God, one indivisible.
Dr. Jackson, will you lead us in prayer, please?
Dear Lord, we thank you for today, and we ask that you would come and bless us as we continue the work of the school district. Allow our hearts and our consciousness to make right decisions for the students of this wonderful community. In your name we pray. Amen.
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 Everybody please sit. First, I want to thank everyone for showing up live and virtually. We really appreciate it. Okay, we'll move to 5 public comments. The board will now hear those who wish to make comments and who have completed and returned the public comment participation request. This section will be conducted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act and board policy. Complaints and concerns for which other resolution channels are provided shall be directed through those channels. Ms. Oliveris, did we have any? Okay, thank you. And there's none?
No.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, we'll move right on into number 6, our superintendent's report. Dr. Jackson.
So, Mr. President and members of the board, the employees of the LaPorte Independent School District family have been quite busy these past few weeks. On last Monday, August 3rd, we welcomed more than 80 new teachers and support staff to LaPorte ISD. We had a great welcome and wonderful welcome back breakfast hosted by the LaPorte Bayshore Chamber of Commerce, complete with gifts and door prizes for our new staff. The Chamber also honored the LaPorte Independent School District with its Business of the Month award.
Yes.
This is a first for LaPorte ISD, and we are certainly grateful for that wonderful honor.
Yeah.
Also, on Monday, August 10th, we welcome back the rest of our district staff to school, which includes teachers, campus support staff, custodial, nutrition, and other staff members. And on Wednesday, August 12th at 8:30 a.m., our entire district will pause to participate in a virtual district-wide convocation. During this convocation, our entire staff will receive greetings from our elementary and secondary teachers of the year, along with greetings from our board president and superintendent of schools, and greetings from the director of the LaPorte Education Foundation. Members of the board, you have received an invitation with a link to the LaPorte Sportsnet YouTube page. Boy, that's a lot. Where in our first ever virtual convocation will be broadcast. So we certainly invite you to be a willing participant and engaged in that process. On Thursday morning at 7, the LaPorte Education Foundation will hold its first ever virtual breakfast with the STARS event. And we will be sending out links to view that event tomorrow morning. Our theme this year has been dubbed Keep LaPorte Strong. And I believe everyone in this organization is doing his or her absolute best to support the ongoing efforts to keep our district strong. Maintain a safe and healthy environment for all students is certainly our #1 priority at this time. And we certainly appreciate everyone's help for that. Our teachers and staff are participating in lively and engaging professional development opportunities that will prepare them to offer a rich and robust learning experience for our students beginning next Wednesday, August 19th. As our teachers prepare to welcome our students back to learning, we're asking for just a little patience and a lot of grace during this process. We're all operating under a new normal, which isn't really that normal for any of us by anyone's standards. However, we ask our parents, our community stakeholders, to continue to partner with us as we navigate through these uncharted waters. #1, our teachers, principals, and support staff are all doing everything in their power to prepare to support students and parents as we begin this new journey of learning and leading together virtually. Also, we want to remind our board and listening audience that our virtual learning plan is for 13 days from August the 19th through September 5th. Students will learn virtually while the teacher is teaching from the classroom. And then on Tuesday, September 8th, students will return back to school for face-to-face learning, or as they may choose, may continue with virtual learning of their choice. Our maintenance department has been busy updating our campus sites with hand sanitizer, personal protection equipment, or PPE such as masks, shields, desk shields for staff, and training our custodial staff and others on how to disinfect classrooms to ensure the optimal student health. We continue to work with the Texas Education Agency, the Centers for Disease Control, and the Harris County health officials to closely monitor the daily changes that continue to happen as it relates to the COVID-19 pandemic. We owe a special debt of gratitude to our team of educators that continue to give 100% each day to ensure that we are prepping and preparing to offer the best education that we can possibly offer our students. We also want to publicly thank, first of all, our Board of Trustees, our parents for your patience and willingness to partner with us to do what is best for your child. I'm confident that we will emerge from this health crisis better, and I'm also confident that LaPorte ISD will continue to thrive under these challenging circumstances. And working together, we will ensure that the more than 7,000 students assigned to our care will receive the best education possible while living in our district and community. So help us all. So help us all.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. President. Any questions for me, board?
Nope.
Great, that's good. Okay, we'll move to number 7, executive review. Executive review of the LaPorte ISD Teaching and Learning Reentry Plan. We'll have Dr. Wadley, Deputy Superintendent, Danette Tilley, Executive Director of Secondary Education, and Jewel Whitfield, Executive Director of Elementary Education. Hi, Dr. Wadley.
Good evening. Is it okay to take this on?
Please.
I'd like to provide some general highlights of our reentry plan, and then Mrs. Tilley will come and present some specifics with regard to secondary education, and Ms. Whitfield will share some elementary specifics. As Dr. Jackson said, we did welcome approximately 80 new staff last week, and in particular, with regard to the new teacher pre-service, the new teachers participated in 4 half-days of training on Teams, so really 2 full days of Teams training. It was very successful. What they were able to experience was Teams from the student perspective as well as the teacher perspective, and that was very important. From the student perspective, the teachers were able to learn how a student completes an assignment, how they would complete a form, how they would complete a quiz, and other technology tools. Because the teacher isn't necessarily seeing Teams from the kid's perspective, they see it from the teacher perspective. So that was very good planning on our instructional technology specialist side when they were planning that PD. So from the teacher perspective, they created their own team or teams for the secondary teachers because they have multiple classes. And of course, Teams is our learning management system. We discussed that last time we were together. They were able to create forms, they were able to distribute assignments, they were able to enable grading, sending feedback for students. So they were given that hands-on experience of what they will be doing as a teacher. They also learned about other digital resources that they have access to from our district website. Anyway, the kids did a really outstanding job of training the teachers for the new teacher pre-service. On Wednesday afternoon, Mrs. Anderson and Mrs. Upshaw did an outstanding job presenting the laws associated with special ed and Section 504 and TEA guidance and mental health and trauma training. On Thursday afternoon, Mrs. Tilley likewise did an outstanding job presenting on the Fundamental 5 and SMART goals. And then the teachers wrapped up the week with T-test training. As Dr. Jackson said, all of our new teachers reported back on Monday. They are immersed in a variety of professional development activities, but in particular, we're really focusing in on Teams training because Teams is our learning management system. We've got some very specific training that will help hone their skills and enhance their knowledge of the digital tools that they have access to that will support our enhanced virtual instruction. With regard to parent training on Teams, this week and next, our campus principals and their leadership teams are conducting multiple live trainings with parents to help them as they assist their students on Teams. We have also posted to our parent portal several outstanding resources for parents, students, and staff. This includes videos and an interactive getting started with Teams. So if you wanted to go, just go to the parent portal, it's right up in the upper right-hand corner, and you can see what some of those resources are.
Awesome.
We've really gotten some positive feedback on that, so we're excited. Shifting to our parent survey, I thought I would share some data with you all. In July, we launched a reentry survey, and right now I'm just talking specifically with regard to the instructional delivery. In July, we had 1,755 entries. So, for example, a parent with 3 children in the school district would have completed the survey for each child. Okay, so it wasn't just one survey per family. At that time, in July, approximately 59% were interested in a face-to-face model, and 41% were interested in virtual. What we shared with them was that we would be asking them to commit 2 weeks prior to the start of instruction, which would have been the 4th. So on August 4th, we did launch our final survey. It is still active. It will close tomorrow. But as of 2 o'clock today, we had 5,041 entries.
Oh, good.
And when I checked, around 6 o'clock, we had about 150 more. So that so they're doing it, which is great. So of the 5,041, 49% face-to-face, 51% virtual. So the survey will close tomorrow. However, our campuses will be analyzing their parents' responses, and they will be making personal contacts to the families that did not complete the survey, because we want to give every family the opportunity to respond. And if they, for some reason, didn't have access and couldn't do it online, then we will
Would
reach
you
out.
say that again, Linda? I'm sorry.
Yes. Our campuses will analyze, we will provide them with their campus data. They will analyze the data to determine who did and did not complete it. The families that did not complete the survey, we're going to contact them personally. So that, and then they'll actually go through the whole survey with them and document their responses.
Can I stop you for just a second?
Absolutely.
Or interject something?
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the board, that's a benefit, that's a glorious benefit, in my opinion, of being in a small district. Districts with 200,000 kids, districts with
can't do that.
50,000
Yeah.
kids cannot do that. That's what makes people want to be in LaPorte ISD, is that somebody is going to call and say, hey, you didn't complete that. That's not going to happen in a whole lot of other places. And so, to me, parents that are listening, I hope understand that's an attribute of a serious one of this wonderful district.
Thank you for that comment. Our technology devices and hotspots are continuing to be distributed, and as of this afternoon, we have approximately 200 more to be distributed, and Mr. Hill said they should have that done by Friday.
Wow.
We
They've been busy.
will
Dr.
also...
Wadley, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
And this may be towards Mr. Hill. Did we get everything that we bought? Or are we waiting on more to come in?
Yeah, are there things still on back order?
Yeah, yeah, both,
Hotspots, we're still waiting on, I think, 60 of them,
yeah.
and we have another 250 that are coming from the Region Center. But we're very close to meeting all of the requests.
Excellent.
Oh, good.
Great, proud of y'all, thank you.
Y'all haven't been busy or anything, right?
We've gotten a lot of assistance from other departments.
Bless you.
They have
Thank you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
They-
interrupt. Well,
No,
yeah,
no,
I
no,
did
that
mean
was
to
good.
interrupt,
No,
but
that was excellent. Because actually, I was going to say they've ordered another 250. They should arrive soon. So I concur. Everybody's just done a magnificent job of working together. It's been fantastic. If there aren't any questions for me specifically, then I'll turn it over to Tilly.
Dr. Wally,
Or whoever wants to go next. Ms. Whitfield? Okay.
thank you.
Dr. Wally.
Thank you.
Dr. Wally.
Hi, Ms. Whitfield. Hi, Ms. Tilly.
Okay, so we want to, of course, thank you for the opportunity to present tonight. We are, as Dr. Jackson stated, starting with 100% virtual instruction, and it's 13 days. However, there are some benefits of that, and so we want to make sure that our community at large and our board knows about those benefits. And so one is that we're able to ensure that we have looked at our reentry plan and that the safety and security of all of our staff and our students, we have those opportunities to ensure that it's in place. This provides an opportunity for our students as well as our teachers to have an opportunity to work with teams, work with other learning systems that we utilize in LaPorte ISD so that they can become familiar with those while at the virtual setting, and then it transfers to the face-to-face setting beginning on September the 8th. Finally, this online opportunity does provide us with a transition. So in the event that we need to go back to a virtual setting later on this school year, we're able to do that seamlessly. And so I feel like this is a great start for our students, for our parents to have that orientation and acclimation to Teams, Microsoft Teams, and it'll be just smoother. Anything else?
Yeah, we're going to,
Sure.
we're going to offer two instructional models. The first one is face-to-face, which is our traditional model of students coming to school, and then the virtual. And I've had the privilege of learning new vocabulary, and I think a lot of parents are too. So we will have the remote asynchronous instruction and the remote synchronous instruction. And right now we are having a series of town halls with all of our parents. Each principal and campus is reaching out to the parents to make sure they can understand what all of these instructional models mean.
And piggyback on that, the proportion of synchronous and asynchronous learning will vary at different levels. So we don't expect our pre-K students to maybe access synchronous learning opportunities as long as a 12th grader would. So we are looking at the requirements for minimum minutes as well as the maximum time that we feel like a student should access the computer.
All right. Our virtual model, we'll have the remote, well, we've already just said that. Okay. Asynchronous, I'm going to read this to you. What is a asynchronous method? Asynchronous learning is the learning that doesn't necessarily happen at the same time for the instructor and the learners. There's no real-time interaction. The content is created and more available for consumption later on. This, whenever we have the parent that pleads, I have to work 8 to 5, how am I going to be able to also help my student? This is the model that's going to be able to provide them with that opportunity that they will be able to sit down with their child in the evening and do their assignments at that time.
And some in asynchronous, in case you have community members that may ask, some of our asynchronous activities, kindergarten through 12th grade, include things like accelerated reader, our learning platforms with our core content areas, which would be HMH for kindergarten through 8th grade. We have STEM scopes for science. So we have other platforms that are available to them to access at various times throughout the year, throughout the evening. And one of the highlights that we want to make with that is just that provides an opportunity for teachers to pre-record lessons, and then for those parents and students to access them at the end of the day.
All right. And then the question, what is synchronous? What is the synchronous method? Well, the synchronous learning is the learning that happens at the same time for the instructor and the learners, meaning that there's real-time interaction between them. It can happen online and offline. And that's, we'll go through in a minute the secondary model, because this is going to be a very important instructional model for the secondary.
Okay, so at this time, if we don't have any other questions, we'd like to share with you what a sample may look like at the primary levels of elementary, which would be our pre-K through 2nd grade, and then at the upper elementary, which we consider to be 3rd through 5th grade. So when we take a look at our sample 2nd grade schedule, you can see here that we are providing on a rotated basis fine arts and PE. Depends on when that particular campus has their 2nd grade specials in their schedule, or another campus may have it at a different hour. Our main goal is to provide the minimum instruction for our core areas and our elective areas. If you look here at this second grade sample schedule, you'll note that our PE fine arts block is just as if the kids were on our face-to-face campuses and the teachers were taking their conference period at that time. So at that time, our PE teachers and our fine arts teachers, which on our level would be our music teachers, they are logging in with their kids on a rotating basis. The kids are having asynchronous activities. It could be complete this bingo chart, complete this choice chart, and it could be 5 jumping jacks, or, you ran around for 15 minutes around your house. Just different things that the kids can access from home. Our ELA block, you'll note that we have some synchronous and asynchronous work there. And it's kind of like we think of it as asynchronous. If we're making a cake, the asynchronous learning is the cake, the foundation of what a cake is like. And then some people choose to put icing on top of their cake or sprinkle some powdered sugar on. And so those sprinkles or that icing would be our synchronous learning. We know that everyone won't be able to access that at the same time, but we all like different things on top of our cake. So we wanted to make sure that we're explaining that to parents and that everyone understands that we will utilize the asynchronous for access to all, but we have opportunities sprinkled throughout the day for synchronous learning at their core levels. And in second grade, we're self-contained in our school district, and at third grade, we do begin team teaching, and we do have some teachers who are self-contained teachers at the third grade level. On our schedules, you'll note that we have moments for RTI, tutorials, differentiation, gifted and talented support, as well as English learner support. So we have all of those supports built into their day so that if you are a student in need of either enrichment or intervention, you're able to access your teacher or the person providing that support. And then I'll share with you the fourth grade version. Again, you can see here in this particular example, our PE now is at the end of the day for this fourth grade class, so that they kind of feel like I'm not on the campus, but when we transition, I know that my PE time is at the end of the day, and I know what subjects would have occurred throughout my day. So we're trying to make that seamless transition for our students. And again, we have our blocks of time here by subject area, what's required of us to teach the TEEPs. And so you will see that they have opportunities for online learning outside of being with the classroom teacher, and then that synchronous learning being with the teacher. And so it's very important to us at this level to ensure that our teachers and our students have daily interaction. We're teaching kindergartners and first graders and pre-K students how to read, and we know that only impacts our secondary students as they get older. Mm-hmm. And so it's critical for us to have those. You can't start working on the letter one day, sound one day, and then 2 days later we'll pick it up. So we do realize the benefit of working with our children on a daily basis at the elementary level. The only thing I wanted to say about that is just to also ensure that we knew that we had many parents concerned about accessing different sites. So Teams has provided that opportunity, as Dr. Wadley said, to kind of consolidate that. Again, we do know that there are programs out there that don't maybe speak with our Teams program. There's not a partnership that they have with Microsoft. And so those may be some programs where they will need a different password. Okay? And do we have any questions about the elementary?
I do,
Sure.
if no one else. Go ahead, Lee, if you do.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you send that to me, please, because it never came up on my computer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay, it's not your fault, Eddie's.
But y'all could see on the screen. I'm sorry.
I've got it on mine.
Joe, you think I can see that? Seriously? No, but it did, it came.
Okay, these are questions that I've been fielding. At what age, when we go back to face-to-face, at what age are children going to be required to wear masks? Are we doing that by grade level or by age?
So our reentry plan that's posted on the website under the parent portal says all students.
All.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For a kindergartner, do you have a sample thing like this for kindergarten that you could email me maybe?
I do, but this is a sample schedule. So on August the 17th, all of our elementary students and their parents will meet their teacher virtually, and the teacher will go over Teams, they'll go over the classroom schedules, they'll go over all of those things with them. So at any moment, I know postcards were being worked on today to go out to families so that they can get the link. and then they're able to meet their teacher from 5:30 to 6 o'clock. I think it might be 5:30 to 6:30 on Monday, August 17th. They'll also post for the parents that are unable to attend that training, their video. So they are recording themselves explaining all of that based on their campus and their particular classroom.
Okay, well, this parent was more like trying to get information to make her decision by tomorrow.
Okay, I can send the sample, but
It
if
doesn't
we
mean
just
it's
make sure they
perfect.
know it's our sample, right?
Yes, I got you. And at the ECC, what are our current drop-off and pickup procedures? Have any of those changed with COVID? How is that working?
So on July 2nd, we received guidance from the State Department, and we had to change some of our pickup and drop-off procedures to be in compliance with them. So
Yes.
our staff must go out to the car and greet the students and walk them in. We don't allow the parents to enter the facility.
Yeah.
They're just not able to do so.
Yeah,
They have to be
understand.
escorted from their car, and they do the self-screening and the self-checking there, and then they're brought into the building by a staff member.
Okay. So if a kindergarten parent, say, chose face-to-face learning for their child, is the child still gonna have recess outside? Are they still gonna eat lunch in the lunchroom? Are they gonna eat lunch in their classroom?
So if a kindergarten parent chose lunch for their child, we are encouraging as much as possible for our electives to be outside. We're in South East Texas, so sometimes it is just too hot to be outside during the school day. But we are encouraging the use of the cafeterias for lunch.
Okay, good.
That we have in the rotation.
Yeah.
We have additional supports such as extra tables, chairs. Our custodial staff has changed to have a little bit more hands-on during the school day to help us accommodate for spreading out throughout the building.
Okay, good.
So they are able to.
Yeah, I think that, people that are just coming in are thinking, of course they want their child to have a great kindergarten experience. That's where you get the love of learning and whatever. So, I think these are valid questions from a kindergarten perspective, and I just didn't have the answers. I knew what I thought, but that doesn't mean that that's right.
Yeah.
So I
And
appreciate that.
The principals are working very hard to share
Oh,
that
I'm sure they
information, but
are.
I think the parents, once they hear from those classroom teachers and they know their schedule, they'll have a lot of their questions answered. And we felt like at the elementary levels, our principals felt like it was very important to have a face-to-face virtual meet the teacher with their group of students.
Oh, I think that's
Not
awesome.
just one general
Yeah.
campus. They're doing that as well, like Dr. Wadley mentioned, but we feel like it's more important for them to have that interaction.
I think that's awesome. Thank you.
Jill, just to follow up on something Ms. Thompson said, and this may be Mr. Clausen's question, but our petitions that we ordered for the cafeteria, have they gotten here yet, or do we have them yet?
Jennifer Green, I believe they're not, yeah, I don't think they're here yet. But they should be right before.
All right, thank you.
All right, for secondary, we have, I'll first talk about the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade because their schedules mirror each other. And in secondary, you have the schedule, and our students go from class to class to class. So how can we meet that middle school and high school schedule and do it virtually? Well, when we reflected back on the end of the school year, one of the things that we found very concerning with a lot of our secondary students was the typicalness of, lack of engagement. We sometimes begged them, we did everything we could do to beg them to be successful. And, so we took that into consideration when we were developing our model, and we are doing an asynchronous model with synchronous or direct direct expectations. And so for our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, this is a sample of what the student day would be like. So on Mondays and Wednesdays would be a synchronous or direct teach, and as you can see, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, we're doing, they're all mirroring each other. All my glasses just keep fogging up, I'm sorry.
You can take your mask
like on
off.
Monday, you would have math, social studies, their fine arts, their PE, or athletics, and and then enrichment. And each one of the groups has enrichment. It'd be bear time or the Lobo time or the bullpup time. And then on that same day, then asynchronously or remotely, they would have the ELA, reading, writing, and science. That doesn't mean that those teachers are not in their classrooms, on their teams, they're available, but our goal was that the kids were not sitting in front of screens also more than 240 minutes. So if they have math first period, they will be on a line first period in math, and they will follow their schedule. Another thing that we took into consideration building these schedules were that the possibility that our students can choose, they might be virtual, and then they decide that they want to become face-to-face. And their schedules were not changed. This will be the same teacher, it will be the same classmates. They will just merely, where their classes are, will just, whether it's at home or at school.
Can I just applaud that? I mean, that must have been a huge undertaking. I can't even fathom.
This has been enormous.
Yeah, I mean, I applaud you for that, because that will make it, that's amazing.
Well, and Ms. Thompson, we have been all over the place. I mean,
I know you have.
I have this folder. I have my COVID folder and I have my pre-COVID folder. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And we're really pretty excited about this. My feelings are gonna be real hurt if not everybody else is excited. Our principals and our teachers have come up, the teams have come up with this. Let me go on and finish telling you about all this, or we'll be here all night long. But high school is a little different bird. And so what we have, what we're presenting is that in high school, instead of every other day for subjects, it's every other class period. So, like, as you can see, first, third, their bulldog period, and sixth period would be the direct teach, and the asynchronous would be the other class periods, and it would flip. One thing I didn't mention, on the Fridays and on all of the secondary, the students will be spending their time with their advisory teacher, enrichment teacher, whatever the campus refers to them as. During that time, we're doing our Character Strong. We're supporting GT. We're supporting acceleration if our students need some acceleration. We also find that there's a lot of mental health issues that our kids need. They need to. We want to be able to support them in any way that we can possibly support them. This is also a time that we are going to hold our kids responsible. We're going to have weekly grade checks at this point so that we can make sure that they're all being successful at that time. So that is high school. The academy is going to be kind of they've got the class periods just as what you can see there. However, they're going to be an asynchronous as far as the way we take attendance. We've got 200 students at the academy, and ironically, of all of our schools that has more wanting to be face-to-face, it is the academy. They have different needs, but we do have students that we will want a direct teach every single day, but the academy has the luxury of being able to address each one of the kids' personal needs and make sure that they are successful. Any questions?
Your attendance, now how are you logging this attendance like an asynchronous class?
For the asynchronous, okay, the assignment is in the teams. The students will log in, do the assignment. They have to exhibit success in the assignment, and they have until 11:59 p.m. to get that assignment turned in. So it's kind of a nightmarish thought to me because, sorry, we're going to have to stay on top of everything. Sorry. Yeah, if you don't mind. And we'll be able, give me 1 second. I get excited about this, and then also you can't breathe. assignment and hyperventilation.
You know you don't have to have your mask on when you're talking, correct?
Because they have the whole week, and the asynchronous is gonna make it a challenge, that I will say, but
And that's the teacher's responsibility
the
to do
teacher's
that?
responsibility is to take the attendance, and then they will give it to the attendance clerk, and the
registrar.
attendance clerk
Okay.
will then clear it up in our PEM system.
Ms. Tilly, I was working on my project at 11 p.m. and my modem went down.
I'm so sorry. And you can still turn the assignment in. The assignment will still be
Yeah.
accepted. I mean, we are gonna accept late work. And if your modem went down at 11, then we're still gonna maybe we'll be able to tell if you were in Teams, and the amount of time that you had spent in Teams.
Mr. Slade, you need to start earlier.
Start earlier.
But
we'll
Don't
get-
wait till the
but
last
we'll get
minute,
credit
Dennis.
for that attendance.
I am a go to bed at 10 o'clock kind of girl, but we do have some students that will stay up and do their work late.
they
So
will
the
still
same
get-
thing on synchronous for attendance?
Yeah.
Now, on these synchronous days, they are expected to be logged in, and that's when they take attendance on those days.
Okay, hold on, let me look at my secondary list. Luckily for you, you hit a bunch of my questions. If someone is doing virtual learning, if a parent decides that their child's gonna do virtual learning, are they allowed to, and how will they participate in extracurricular and UIL activities?
Yes. Yes, they will. And we're still working through all of it.
Okay,
I had a long conversation with the junior high parent today, and I did not give her any assurances of exactly what it was gonna look like, but we don't wanna deny any of the kids. I mean,
Right.
it's not a punitive thing. We're working, I see my athletic director back here and our fine arts director, and we've met a lot.
So, Ms. Thompson, may I
Yes, please.
add to that? We're going to work with the kids, we're going to allow them to do that, but we have to have some conversations about it, because generally speaking, if a child is doing virtual, it's probably because of the population and being connected to the other kids. And so we've got to look at that, because if you're going to participate in that extracurricular, you're going to open yourself up to exactly what you were staying home from. Does that make sense?
yes, sir.
And so I just want the audience and I want people to understand, we're not going to deny that, but it's going to be really hard to offset some of the things that you're trying to keep your child from if you say he's going to go to this now after school or after hours or whatever, because now he or she, for the lack of a better word, is exposed to all of that now, whether you wear a mask or not. Am I right? And so we just want to make certain parents understand that. We're not going to punish a child because they decided to do that, because there's
Right.
anything wrong with the virtual learning. It's just, if that was one of the reasons why, you defeat that once you show up at the schoolhouse.
Sure,
Okay,
sure.
so.
I'm sure y'all saw the lovely pictures that have been floating around online of high schools in Georgia and all that kind of stuff. Can you speak to what type of procedures and strategies we have in place to monitor the hallways? Are we doing one-way hallways? Are we,
There again,
I'm talking about in September, of course.
Right, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, it's going to be much easier to have one-way hallways, and in fact, I think all of our junior highs expect our students to. I mean, we've got procedures in
Do like
place
we
anyway, and they're already socially distanced because we're just trying to teach them how to socially act in a hallway. There again, going back to what our entry procedures are, all students will be expected to wear a mask. Going back to a conversation I had with a parent, I'm not in favor of my student wearing a mask to high school. You're gonna have a hard time being able to keep a mask on. And we are offering them a virtual opportunity if they don't want to wear a mask. So that is one of the things. We've got to instill with our teachers, and this is what our principals are saying over and over and over. The administrators can't do all the monitoring. You know, first off, we hope that the time that we can spend, that it's all virtual, those first 3 weeks, that it's also an opportunity to really talk about personal responsibility, integrity, do the right thing even when no one's looking. And I mean, and this is not punitive. This is for the well-being of everybody and for their peers. And so we are going to get to keep going to school face to face if we all stay well. And how are we going to stay well? So that is going to be one of the things that we're going to spend a lot of time with our students, reminding them of what their responsibility is. And like I say, if they don't want to do it, if they don't want to do what we're asking them to do, then we're going to certainly visit with their parents and suggest that they do virtual. Did that answer your question?
Perfect answer.
Okay.
Perfect answer.
Good answer.
In fact, that answered another question. Look at you. Double whammy. I think that's all I have for you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Anything else? Miss Green, Miss Wheeler, Mr. Yonda?
Can you hear me?
I think Mr. Yonda had a question for Dr. Wadley. Am I correct, David?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Did we lose him?
Do we have y'all with us?
I'm here.
Miss Wheeler's with us. Miss Green?
Yes, I'm here. I just wanted to make a comment
Green,
to
are
thank
you with
them.
us?
Yes,
Mr.
can you
Yonda?
hear me?
Well,
Lee, can you hear me? Lee. This is crazy.
Mr. Yonda had a question for Dr. Wadley, but I don't know what it was.
They'll try to get it.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we, Mr. Clausen,
Thank you, ladies.
how's our buses looking? Yeah. How about picking up kids? In our surveys, do we know how many kids are going to be taking the bus? Or? Are we going to be able to handle those 1,500?
Oh, one more thing, Miss Tilly.
And our bus
What
drivers
time
were
is
pretty
the,
well.
online meeting for the high school on Thursday?
I think Ms. Thompson had a question.
The meeting for Thursday, for the high school.
Yes.
A parent's asking me.
Okay, and I'm sorry I didn't give you the dates. Our all of our campuses are having the parent meetings, information meetings, especially about teams.
Yes.
High school is Wednesday. I mean, they have multiple days, Wednesday and Thursday, and then I think he was also doing a student one on Monday.
Okay. The call out, I'm on the high school call out
Okay.
list. I got the call out and it said the times would be determined later or something.
Okay,
like that.
they're
Maybe
all
it'll be on the
from
high
6
school
to
website.
7.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all
Okay,
from
perfect.
6 to 7.
Thank you.
And it
Or
might
are
be,
they 5 to 6?
might be good to just have them to post them on the high school's
I will-
website.
I
as
will.
I
well.
think it is on the, he said it would be on.
Can you
there.
hear me?
It's on there
Yeah,
yet,
I'm
but
sorry. Like I said, I have those on my.
I'll
phone.
check there.
Okay.
Thank you so
Dr.
much.
And all of the campuses are doing that.
Dr. Wadley, I have Mr. Yonda's question for you. There has been some public, now this is Mr. Yonda, this is not me, so don't throw the book at me, okay? There has been some public interest in the results of the survey. Will they be released to the public once the survey closes? I would think so.
Well, she just said the results as of 6 p.m. today. Is that what he's asking?
Okay, that was all.
She shared them, and we have no reason to not want to share that with the public.
Absolutely.
No reason at all. And so we'll share that.
There were, two other questions. One had to do with technology. Do you need technology? And the other one is transportation. All of that.
And once we
Great.
compile it, we will release that.
And Ms. Green says that she's she could see everyone, but she doesn't have any questions. She just wanted to thank you all for the incredible amount of work that you've done in such a short time. And I think all of us would agree with that.
We're always short of bus drivers. Are we short just a few, or are we short just a whole bunch?
I don't know exactly what's driving out. So we'll be running extra routes, of course, because we're not gonna fill the buses up like we have.
Right.
One kid to a seat, so we'll have to make double runs on it. Take more time, so we'll get them there and we'll get them there safe.
But with that app, that should help parents if they're on the second loop thing, you know what I mean? That, I forget the name of the app now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. What's the bus app? My Stop, okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Whitfield.
Okay, so we'll move to number 8 on consent agenda. First will be B, approve board minutes, meeting minutes on 1, 2, 3, and 4. Item C, notice to Board of Employment of Professional Staff. Item D, receive financial reports for July 2020. Item E, and before I go any further, if Mr. Yonda, Ms. Green, and Ms. Wheeler can hear me, but they can't speak, I think you'll have my number, so just text me, and we will pull anything that you want to talk about. Okay, where was I? E. D. E. Receive report of cooperative fees paid by LaPorte Independent School District. F. Receive TASB local policy update 115 affecting local policies BF, DED, DIA, DMD, EI, FB, FD, FEB, FFG, FFH, FMF, FMG, and GF. Please don't ask me to repeat that. Item G, receive 2020-2021 LaPorte ISD Student Handbook. Item H, approve budget amendment. Item I, approve first semester regular school board meeting schedule. Item J, approve proposed interlocal agreement for a joint election with Harris County and LaPorte ISD. Item K, approve purchase of a new roof for the central plant. Item L, approve 2020-2021 Texas Teachers Evaluation and Support System, or T-TESS, appraisal calendar and T-TESS list of teacher appraisers. And item N, adopt a resolution number 2020-12 for Coronavirus Relief Fund, CRF, for local education agencies funding application. Mr. Slate?
Consent items B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, and M.
Thank you, sir. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Rogerson and Mr. Slate. All right, let's vote.
We have to hold our hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
That's okay. Hold my hand
Thanks
up.
for reminding me, yeah. Let's do the yay or nay. I guess we can do this. Ms. Green's already voted yes. Ms. Rogerson?
Yes.
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 Mr. Slate?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Wheeler? Okay. And Mr. Yonda voted yay, and I'll vote yay as well. Thank you. Okay, so we'll move to action item number 9. A, adopt a resolution number 2020-11, amended election order calling November 3rd, 2020 general trustee election. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Was that
Ms. Thompson.
Ms. Thompson and who else? Ms. Robinson. Okay, thank you. Discussion. Anyone? Class? Okay, so I guess we'll vote. start. Oh, Miss Green just texted, so moved. She beat you, I think, didn't she? Nah, I don't think so.
That is fine.
Nah.
I'm not-
We'll go ahead and vote, and we'll wait for them to come to text in.
Yes.
Ms. Rush? Yes. Yes. Mr. Slate?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Wheeler? Good, thank you. Ms. Green? Mr. Yonder votes yes, and Ms. Green? Still waiting. Yes, okay, good. Oh, she said she already voted yes. I think she just yelled at me. Okay, it was myself. Thank you. Okay, we'll move to B, and I apologize if we have to do it like this, but it's technology, it's Eddie's fault.
Corey will take the blame
Eddie,
for it.
your shoulders just get broader every day, don't they?
I'll start blaming you too, okay? Yeah. Okay, item B, consider endorsing a nominated individual for TASB Board of Directors, Region 4, Position B.
So moved?
Is that Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
Second.
And Ms. Rogerson? Okay, so, and now Ms. Green has just texted me. She would like to nominate Paige Rander for LPISD to support. And I think Ms. Rander's from Pearland. No, is it Pearland or Friendswood?
No.
Clear Creek ISD.
Well, I was going that direction.
Yeah. Clear Creek ISD.
Yeah.
I know that's tough because both of those ladies are dynamic individuals. I've had the pleasure of being in meetings with both of them before. I'm like, why are they running against each other? They're both dynamic, wonderful people.
And that's the reason.
Yeah, right? So, anyway, whoever the team wants to support, I'm in favor of because they're both great.
I agree. So, yeah, I'll agree with Ms. Green. It's
Clear Creek ISD,
yeah.
Paige
Mrs. Lake?
Rander.
Yes.
Mr. Yonda? Mr. Yonda abstains. So, Ms. Wheeler? Okay. So let's go ahead. We'll vote, but I think I know what David how he's going to vote, and I'm pretty sure how everyone else votes. But we still need to call for the vote.
Yes.
Ms. Rogerson is yes. Mr. Slate?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Wheeler? Yes. And Ms. Green is yes, and I'm yes, and Mr. Yonda abstain. Man, this is confusing. Okay.
You're doing great, Lee.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so let's move to C. Consider appointing a delegate, and this is always fun because nobody's place starts hiding. Consider appointing a delegate and alternate to represent LaPorte ISD at the Texas Association of School Boards TASB 2020 Delegate Assembly, which will be virtual this year. I was the delegate and the alternate last year.
That's right, because you weren't here when we voted.
Gosh, that's exactly right.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm here tonight, big boy.
Teach you about this in a minute.
Well, I'm the one that voted you in.
Thank you, Dennis. So I nominate Dennis.
I actually am not gonna do it because I did the one in June,
Okay.
so I just thought it was so much for the amount of hours we were getting.
I felt the same way, Lois.
$425 for 10 hours, I thought was just an incredible amount of money for a job. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's just the way I
They
was
did a
feeling.
good job on it, but I felt the same way. I thought for the amount of money we spent to only get 10 or 11 hours or
And the
something
other
was,
was only $200, $199 or whatever it was, Candace, you could tell us.
yeah.
But this one is $425, and I just thought.
Oh, is it?
It's
Yes.
$425 to go, or to attend for 10 hours.
Right.
He's not doing it. I think he did the one in
Yeah.
June,
Yeah.
but I just was not gonna do it.
Ms. Green, what? I didn't hear from you.
Yeah, I
Or
don't think
Mr.
I'm doing
Yonda.
it either.
It's just too much money for.
Yeah.
For-
I'm the same way.
I
Louis.
just feel a little bit of responsibility.
I agree. I didn't realize it was that much.
$425 per person for virtual.
Have you already registered anyone, or is it too early? You haven't?
No,
Good.
it's till this Friday, she says.
And Mr. Yonda agrees. he's not going either, so
I
that's,
have enough hours, so, from what we did before.
so we're not gonna appoint anyone, we can just let that one fly.
I don't think there'll be much action.
And Ms. Green says the same thing, she's not going either, so. Okay, well, we won't even have to take action on that one.
No, we don't.
Okay, so we didn't have any, action on closed session items. I want to thank Ms. Green and Mr. Yonda and Ms. Wheeler for, participating, even though things got kinda jacked up. I appreciate y'all doing that, and,
Tess,
I think, we'll
Tess.
close it here. But I wanna say one thing before we leave. It's a great day to be a Bulldog.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sir.
Closed.
We are adjourned.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you. Appreciate you.
It is 6 o'clock.
You know what's funny is while we were here, I got a call out saying I missed a call.
Yeah, and
And so it left me this crazy voicemail. But I had a pen.
Thank you for doing that.